Hey,
Okay.
everybody. Welcome back to another fun episode of The Word on the Street Is. This week, we have another awesome guest, and his name is Matthew Boyd. Hi, Matthew.
Hi. Thank you guys for having me.
Matthew is one of the first like Bravo reality TV TikTokers that I kind of connected with like back when the pandemic started. So it's really fun to have him on now.
Thank you for having me, you guys. I've known Michael on via TikTok since like last year around, well, I guess I don't really
Almost
know
a
when I joined
year.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it all just I have no concept of time. But I'm Matthew. I work in social media and I'm a Bravoholic.
So, for those of you who have been listening to our podcast for a little bit, you know we love to ask our guests what their Bravo palette is because it's just so fun to know that ahead of time before we dish about all the current episodes. So, Matthew, if you could share with us your top 5 favorite Real Housewives, past or present.
All right. Are you guys ready? Okay. My number one is Portia Williams. I'm obsessed with her.
Mhm.
Obsessed with her. I think she can do no wrong. I love Dolores. Dolores Catania just is fabulous.
You are our first guest to include her in your top
Yeah.
5. I love that.
I love her. And everyone on Clubhouse the other day was kind of roasting her. And I was like, you guys, like, I know she's Teresa's mouthpiece, but like, come on. Like, she's like, welcome back, scumbag. Come on. Like, I quote that so much. In her.
I like Dolores a lot. Like entertainment wise, maybe not so much, but I would take Dolores over Melissa any day.
Okay, that we need to get into that because I know you hate Melissa.
Yeah. I really do hate Melissa.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, she's not one of my favorites, but like I want to ask you like why you hate her so much after like
Yeah, when we get into Jersey, we can talk
okay.
about it.
Okay. I also know you're gonna disagree with this one. I love Jacqueline.
Okay.
She's like one of my favorites just because I know everyone thinks she had like a pretty bad last season, but I actually loved the way that she dragged Melissa her last season, calling her a fake phony bitch with 4 nose jobs. I quote that like I quote that like once a day, even when it's not even applicable to the conversation. I quote that part. Like I thought it was so funny. That Vermont trip was so funny.
Yeah.
Um,
The
I
rage on me thing.
Yeah, the rage on my ass
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
and Robin. I loved that. I thought that
Yeah.
was so funny. I love Margaret. I think that she was
Mhm.
such an amazing addition to that show, and it was such a
Yep.
seamless transition. She immersed herself in the drama. She didn't waste any time. I thought it wasn't like forced because some of these housewives when they come on, it's incredibly forced.
Yeah.
And
And
she's also, speaking on the Marge, she is like in her prime right now. She's in her third or fourth season, which is when I feel like most housewives really hit their stride.
Yeah.
So I feel like Marge is like, she's becoming a fan favorite. She's stirring the pot. She's really doing everything like really well.
she
Yeah.
is. She also like she's also like narrating this season. Her and Jennifer are like narrating this season like a lot more than like Teresa and Melissa usually do. And I think, and I told her this like when I interviewed her like a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
I was like, you and Jennifer are like the best sparring partners because
I always say if I don't think that Jersey can survive with without Teresa, but if if it does, like Marge would be the one to like take
yeah,
it over for sure.
I agree. I agree. Okay, and then my last one is I'm like ashamed to admit this now just because she's been like such a pain in the ass recently, but Bethany is like my like favorite. I just loved her so much on the show. Now, like she's been
Oh,
really annoying. And I think this goes back to just kind of like when housewives leave the show, and she's left the show twice now. When you realize that like the attention isn't on you and you're not always being like in the press and stuff, like you're not like involved in the process, you're like reaching at ways to get back into people's like conversations, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
And incredibly annoying. And I'm like, I need you to keep your mouth shut.
I know. After saying all that too, she's really kind of gone down on my
Yeah,
list as well. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been really, really disappointed in Bethany as of late.
Yeah.
completely. And I also just like if she's not and then like you just like I saw her like coming out with the skinny girl pants, and I was like, okay, pack it up, B. If you're not like ripping Ramona a new one, or like get like, I don't care. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? No.
Well, speaking on Bethany Frankel, a trend I've noticed with her is like she burns like a lot of bridges. Like her and Frederick, who her realtor and the guy that she even had a show with, they're not friends anymore.
Why aren't they friends anymore? I knew that like they kind of like didn't actually get along, but like why aren't they like,
I read about what the falling out was, but it wasn't really juicy enough for me to remember.
by the
Mhm.
way, that show? It's like not good.
Yeah, I
Did
watched
it
it and
only
it,
last one season?
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
her talk show only lasted one season.
And I loved when I do just love her story, just with like, you can hear a muffin drop in the store that went her first season when she like couldn't sell anything. And then like she definitely had like a renaissance.
yeah.
Um, and I was team Bethany and the team Bethany and Carol
Oh,
thing.
I
And
was too. Yeah.
oh, thank God. My friends and I still fight about it to this
Oh,
day. And like,
no.
yeah, I
Same.
see a little bit of like why people would be team Carol, but
I didn't like the way I thought Carol was so like in her confessional, so just like rude and
yeah.
it felt unnecessarily rude. And I don't know. I really didn't enjoy Carol that season at all. I was completely team Bethany.
It was a bummer watching that friendship dissolve because that was a really fun housewives friendship. Really, I always really liked the scenes with Bethany and Carol, like being a team.
I
Yeah,
agree. I thought Carol definitely changed.
she
That's
did.
She came
It
in
was
brand.
once she cut her hair really short, she like became a different person.
I
Mhm.
know she was cutting Ramona and Dorinda and like Sonia a lot of slack just because they were like latching on to her
Hmm.
that season.
Yeah.
And Ramona will like literally like latch on to anyone who's in a difference with Bethany.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
she's a leech for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, I have the same birthday as Ramona. So, yeah, we're both Scorpios. It's like
Yeah.
she literally says it every 4 minutes. Me and Bethany, we're both Scorpios. November 18th.
And my dog's birthday is November 19th. So
Oh my God, Tinsley. I'm
yeah.
so happy that you named her Tinsley, by the way.
I know. I actually really like Tinsley as a housewife.
So Matthew, now can you please share with us your 5 least favorite Real Housewives? This is always super fun.
Okay. So I've never liked OC in general. So literally all of OC this past season, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like I can't. I literally like that, and that's more than 5. So I'll give you some more like to mix it up, but I can't. I just don't. OC just didn't work for me. I
I
don't.
know. And I know they're like taking their time with like this whole recasting, but that's what we kind of talked about with Vanderpump Rules. I think they need to just learn to let things go. We've had 15 seasons. Let's just let it go.
I
Let the mouse go.
completely agree. But I can't stand Teddy, and I'm so happy to see her go. I
Yeah,
thought she
same.
made last season intolerable.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir between me and Michael. I think Michael has a little bit more disdain for her than I do. I just find her boring AF.
Yeah, I think she's not a bad person. She's just not someone I want to watch on TV. And I just kind of like picking on her because of that. So,
I agree. Like she was so like that last season, she was just so like she made the Denise stuff 10 times more annoying for some reason for me. Like the way that she brought
yeah.
it up. I was like, God, can you like, I don't
And
know.
she made it all about her, like, oh, what was Denise saying about me behind my back?
I don't like when Kyle has like a buddy, because I think
Yeah.
that Kyle, because like I like people really hate Kyle. I don't hate her, but I did not like her at all when she had Teddy in
No.
her arm.
I
It just
mean,
didn't work.
hopefully Kyle's going to go into like a new era because Kathy's coming on, Teddy's gone. So I'm hopeful that it'll be different next season.
Are you guys excited about Kathy? Because I am.
I am, yeah. I'm excited for Crystal as well.
Me
So
too. I'm so excited about Crystal.
I think next season will be good. I'm really excited about next season. And we haven't heard much about it. And I'm happy for that because we heard a lot about the last 2 seasons and we saw how they went down. So I'm kind of excited because of that.
I completely agree. I like going into a season with less information because then we can enjoy it more. And there's not so many like people talking about things. All right, and my last, I'll give you one more that I don't like.
Okay.
I don't like Candace.
Okay.
I've never really enjoyed her. I thought that she doesn't have like many redeemable qualities. She's kind of annoying, and
I understand that one. I like Candace for the drama. I don't like really like her that much, but I actually really love her mom.
You
So
do?
her mom is like, her mom is a lot, but I kind of enjoy the scenes with her mom. So
She was like not gonna come back. Like she made like a cryptic like post about coming back. I think that was for attention.
oh, for sure, she's very attention seeking.
That's very on brand for Candace. Yeah.
And we have Atlanta, Dallas, and Jersey to get into. So
Let's start with Atlanta.
I completely agree. Okay, who do you guys think leaked this story? Because for some reason, I don't think it was Kenya.
Really?
I like Kenya because I love to normalize the villain. They serve a purpose.
Exactly.
But I don't know why I don't think it's her.
I'm stuck in between. I kind of think it's her, but then I feel like that's like so obvious. And but then her saying in her confessional, like, oh, well, it was probably somebody told it to someone and they leaked it. I don't really know what to believe. I think it could be either.
I don't know, because like they were talking about it at the pumpkin patch. And the way like they were all brought it up, like you can always kind of like I always like read into like people's poker face, and I feel like she had a good poker face on.
I also kind of think Kenya is a good liar. I don't know. I think it could be either way. I don't really feel like it would have been anyone else in the group.
People are also saying it might have been production too, but I don't know if I believe that either.
Or maybe it was like, I don't know. I mean, could have been anyone.
I know. I don't know who it was. Do you think we'll find out who it was?
No.
Probably not.
Only found out who went to the press with the dogs for Lisa Vanderpump. So I doubt we'll ever know who went to the press with this.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more on the Housewives than unresolved drama.
Same.
True.
Or off camera stuff. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. If it didn't happen on camera, I don't care.
Exactly. With the dog, I definitely think that was like more clear for me that was at least someone from Vanderpump's camp. But here, it could have been really anyone. I don't know. Exactly.
Well, we saw Kenya and Drew having dinner together, which felt like really random since Kenya has had not like one nice thing to say about Drew. She's made fun of her wig. She said the only thing she likes about her is her husband because he's cute.
By the way, my brothers live right around the corner from that restaurant, and I like had to rewind it a few times. It's like, wait, I think I've been there, and I was like, oh, my like that stockyard. Okay.
Oh my God.
And they like both split the check. I'm like, okay, I like Drew a lot. Do you guys like Drew?
She's growing on me.
I think she's better than Eva.
Oh, for sure. Gabby likes Eva, but I don't.
Oh, really? Why do you like her?
I mean, I guess the part of me that loves America's Next Top Model, like show, and that was my issue. I loved her on that, and
I did too.
I was excited to see her back on my screen. I know she's not like 1,000,000% housewife material, but I enjoyed her. I did.
Okay, I don't know why I feel like her and Teddy would get along really well.
I could see that. I liked Eva as a friend, and then I didn't like her when she was full-time.
Was she a friend?
Her first season, remember, because there was that drama between her and one of the husbands.
Oh my God, why am I like
Hill or?
I did not know she was a friend one season. It's always so weird, like when a housewife gets put as a friend and then they come back, like when Luann did, and like Portia even, like it was just so weird.
Oh, yeah. And Jacqueline from Jersey. But I actually thought the Kenya and Drew dinner was kind of funny. It kind of gave me the Bye Ashy lunch vibe because it escalated so quickly and so randomly and so funny.
And they were not listening to each other.
Yeah, exactly. And then like Drew was like doing the weird singing thing, and like it was just so quirky and funny, and like I love those kind of like random like sit downs.
That's why I love Atlanta, because they make these moments so funny with the singing.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thought it was random that Marlo hosted like a harvest pumpkin patch party?
I thought that was random too.
It was really random.
And by the way, I looked up where it was because I was like, I wonder if I like am close by to like where
Mhm.
that is. Nowhere near where any of them live. So I'm not surprised that Portia got lost.
Yeah. And that Portia was like not even around. Matt, do you miss Nene, or like what are your thoughts on Nene not being around?
I don't miss her. I don't think they need her to make a good show. And honestly, one of my favorite seasons was season, I think it was season 9, where I
Yeah.
know Field was on it, but like I don't even care. I loved the fight with Cynthia and Portia on that boat at Lake Lanier.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was so great. But I think that Nene is being so cryptic with the way that she's going about all this like Bravo hate. I think she's scaled back, right? Has there been anything new about that?
I haven't seen much lately, but I haven't enjoyed that either.
I haven't either. And I also feel like I've just heard that she's not the most pleasant person to work with.
So now we are going to leave the wonderful state of Georgia and head into the kind of scary right now state of Texas.
Yeah. Well, we kind of got a continuation of the Tiffany and Brandy drama, which again, I'm completely team Tiffany. I mean,
Completely.
Brandy, that is her own problem. But to even say that to Tiffany is just, I feel so bad for Tiffany because although some of her etiquette is kind of weird and like texting about the party and stuff, I think Tiffany's really trying, and I do think she wants to like make a great impression on these women. And like for Brandy to even say that is so unfair to Tiffany because that is Brandy's own issue.
I could not agree more.
This-
I've never really liked Brandy. This is the first season of Dallas that I'm actually watching.
Mhm.
I should add that for context. I've like watched clips of it before. I feel like Brandy is just way too silly for my taste, where it's just so like all over
Yeah.
the place. It's not like the humor that I really like. Like when Sonia and Ramona get really crazy, I don't care. Like people think
Yeah.
it's so funny. I'm like, I don't like, what are you doing? But like the silly humor doesn't really get me. I am 100% team Tiffany. I
Yes.
love Tiffany. I think she elevates that show so much.
For
And I think
sure.
that all the women are like incredibly insecure that this woman is working 75 jobs at once
Yeah.
and like jobs that actually matter. And like,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
literally actually, by the way, random tidbit, I just got my confirmation email that I ordered a candle. I ordered a
Oh,
Tiffany candle. I'm so
I
excited.
want one.
I love how all of them are named after different pills.
Yeah, I love that too.
It is not Tiffany's job to make them feel comfortable. It's not
For
Tiffany's job
sure.
to make Andy feel comfortable. It's
All I hear when Brandy says is like, how can I continue to be my silly, fun self in front of Tiffany? I'm like, are the only jokes you're able to make racist jokes?
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like, and she's making it way worse than it is because they figured this out like in what the first episode. It was like the first
Yeah,
episode, or second
exactly.
episode. So
Yeah, they had, I thought, a really great conversation, and I thought kind of Tiffany really enlightened Brandy on what she's gone through, and I thought, okay, well, maybe there's a friendship, but I don't know. I mean, I understand why Tiffany like left early and all of that. Like she had Cameron going on at her about like correcting her, and then Brandy, and then like jumping in the river, whatever that was.
Yeah.
I thought Cameron was really out of line.
I agree. And also like Cameron, like when she's doing her own scenes is so like funny because she's such a character. But then
Yeah.
when she's in group settings, she's never on the right side of history. That's
Exactly.
just what I've learned.
I couldn't agree more because I think she's funny in her confessionals and I kind of like her like aesthetic, but then in group settings, she just annoys the hell out of me and I just can't like get behind her.
Yes. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always agree with Deandra on a lot of things. However, I liked how she said to Brandy, like, yeah, I really didn't get where you were coming from.
Yeah. Like Deandra actually grew on me. Like I met her like literally the week before lockdown. I met her at a fashion show. And
Oh, okay.
so like so it gave me way more context to what Carrie was talking about. I know Carrie's being nuts this season, but like when she was talking about how like Deandra literally doesn't care about anyone but herself in conversations, I felt that when I met her, like where she only is talking about herself. Like first of all, when I met her, she'd never met me before. And she was talking about how like she'd been talking to me like we've met. She was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this tonight and this and this and this.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
what? Like we've never spoken before. I think she thought it was someone else, but I was like, okay. And then like that gave me like a little bit of insight into like
Okay.
why. I know Carrie's being a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Pops this season, but
Yeah. Carrie always kind of annoyed me even last season with the whole Leanne stuff. I never really was a huge fan of her. I think she just kind of makes everything about herself, like with like her talking to Tiffany and saying, "Oh, well, you left early and you should have like at least said something." It's like it's my birthday. I'm like, "Bitch, we've been celebrating your birthday for like 5 episodes now." So,
I was just like, wait, another birthday celebration? Like,
yeah,
do this.
that's on
I
every
will say when I turn 50, I now know I can throw like 5 different parties.
right. That's what everyone I was talking on a Clubhouse about like this stuff, and everyone was like, why are we having 100 birthdays? And then someone who was like, I don't want to like age shame, but someone like on the older side was like, well, when you get older, you'll understand because you're like one sleep closer to not to having eternal sleep. So like I
yeah,
get it, but like else I'm like, okay, like we can just have parties. Like it doesn't always have to be like a birthday. Like a
exactly. Yeah.
reasons for parties. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I will say I really enjoyed the sit down with Stephanie and Carrie and Carrie's daughter Olivia.
Yes, and like because given Stephanie's past, everyone is saying like Stephanie's like the hidden villain of that show, and I kind of
Mhm.
understand that, but at the same time, I also understand that she's like a decent human.
I think she's a good person. I don't know that she's like fully like as sweet as she comes off, but I don't know. I wouldn't say she's like a villain.
When I think of Real Housewives villains, I think of Leanne, Danielle,
Kelly
Vicky.
Ben Simone.
Yeah, Kelly. I just don't like put Stephanie in that same group. So
Yeah, not at all.
Right.
Like the most vile like people.
Right. No, yeah. Like she's definitely not like she's moving the pieces, but she's not like as like overtly a villain. Like
Yeah, because she has a hard time really saying how she feels.
Mhm.
So
I loved that sit down too. It was so cute.
but yeah, I mean, Tiffany, even this being like, okay, she hasn't even been on a full season. She's already my favorite. I think she's already
Really
Gabby's favorite. I mean, we love her.
great. And also, like, I got upset when she was like, I might be a 1 season wonder.
I
I was
know.
like, no,
I
don't leave. I know it's hard to balance both jobs. Like, it's probably way harder than I even imagine it being, but
yeah,
please stay. You're like bringing this show to a different level that
but with Brandy leaving, who knows?
you know who like they have some work to do on the casting side of that show.
Yeah, for sure. If they're gonna keep it around, and they need to advertise it more. Like it's the only Housewives that's not on Hulu. Like,
Oh, is it really? It's not on Hulu?
well,
yeah,
you have to like pay extra to watch it on Hulu, like get Hulu Live to watch it.
Right. That's the
they
same
just
with Below Deck on Hulu. Yeah.
so I don't know. I feel like it's just like the one that like I mean it is like I feel like on a different level than some of the others, but I don't think it's terrible, but I think they
No, I
need
think
to
this season
advertise it better.
We are now leaving the state of Texas into the Garden State to dish about our Jersey ladies.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say I was kind of enjoying the pictures of Tony. I'm one to kind of enjoy my men on the older side, so
I think he is a snack, right? I
hmm
think he's a total snack. She's a serial monogamist.
yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Like she stayed with Joe for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like, way
And
longer than I would have ever tolerated this
yeah,
nonsense.
Joe especially,
So
yeah.
You know
I
what I was always thinking during all of the cheating allegations and like when he was on the phone in the vineyard, like who are these women that want to like willingly like sleep with him? Like he's
know.
not a catch.
At last reunion, she was like, he had a separate phone for someone.
Yeah.
Who is it? Like some woman?
Yeah, she basically kind of like admitted that he was cheating.
Why?
They already like had Gia and they were planning on a family, so she just like let it go. So
That's sad, really. I think it's like a loyalty thing though.
Yeah, I think she's just like incredibly like simple-minded. I'm trying
Yeah,
not to mean because she's not there's not a lot going on.
yeah.
And so she's very much surface level. She sees exactly like what is she doesn't read between the lines.
Yeah, for sure. At first, so this episode, we kind of saw some more of the Michelle kind of was bringing up the rumors of Joe owing her husband money, and then Jennifer finally brought it up to Melissa. And Teresa, at first, I was like, wow, she's just like really, she's like, well, I don't know what my brother does with his business. But I did enjoy that she did end up saying to Michelle, I'm not going to do this deal until you guys talk it through. So I feel like at the end of the day, she kind of stuck up for her brother.
So much to unpack here because that scene was so awkward to me for some reason by the pool. Did anyone else say? Like
What?
it was
I thought it was really awkward.
Yeah.
It felt really weird. I was so excited for her to join because we had the same, but Michelle, by the way, Michelle to join because we had the same cast and this is like the best cast. I think it's an incredible, strong cast.
Yeah.
And I was excited for someone new to come in and kind of like shake things up, like not in the Danielle way where it's just like
a lot.
And like someone new to come in and kind of just change it up. And so like, but I like learned like soon after she like leaked her own casting announcement, which I guess put a bad taste in production's mouth. And then I guess she didn't deliver that much other than like that. So then they didn't really even announce her as a friend either. So her edit is incredibly awkward and weird, just the way she's used. It's so like we're supposed to already know this woman, and then like she's the #1 realtor in New Jersey, and like it felt really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that as well. I mean, the whole owing my husband money thing feels a little bit forced, although I do think Joe is shady with his business. So, I mean, I think it's totally feasible, but it
Joe
feels
is so freaking shady. I mean, taking credit for a kitchen remodeling that he didn't do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like I'm glad that Jennifer. Okay, so we're kind of like when Jennifer brought it up. She brought up that he owed Michelle and her husband money, but then she also brought up the Instagram stuff, but no one's talking about the Instagram stuff. And I feel like more people care about the Instagram stuff than owing someone my money. So I wish that they brought up more of the Instagram stuff because it was on Good Morning America. Good Morning America covered it.
Yeah.
He was posting pictures of properties that he flipped that didn't belong to him. Like that's basically plagiarism. That's weird.
Yeah.
And talking about it.
It's shady.
It's shady.
Like, I feel like, unfortunately, all the husbands on Jersey are very, very inauthentic and they're crooks. I mean, Frank Catania, I say this as someone who thinks he is the ultimate eye candy. He is so delicious, but he sucks. I mean, he was disbarred. Yeah. He cheated on Dolores. He's not a good guy.
Yeah.
By the way, Frankie Jr., he has learned from his parents' mistakes. Okay, Mike, why do you hate Melissa so much?
I just think she's so like inauthentic. All of her storylines are fake. I think the only reason she'd be on the show is because of Teresa, basically. Right. I mean, I just think she kind of like saw what Teresa was doing and just kind of wanted to like jump on that bandwagon. I just think she's very inauthentic and I don't think she adds that much.
Okay, I don't love her, but I don't hate her. I feel like some people like want her to die. Like some people like literally like want like certain housewives to like just like not exist.
Yeah.
And she's like not one of those people for me because like I get she's annoying and she's phony and like that's why I kind of like Jacqueline like calling her out like
yeah
that season. That's like why. But like I don't know. I actually like weirdly loved her old house. Like, I guess the one that's on this season, but she just sold it.
Yep.
I loved her like basement with the wine cellar kind of thing, like the bar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like, she doesn't bother me as much as she bothers people.
I think if Teresa was gone, I don't think there'd be a point for her to be on the show.
I personally love Melissa. I really love Melissa. She's my favorite Jersey housewife.
Really? Okay, good. Because I think she's gorgeous. I've met her before and she is superficial. So I'm glad that Jennifer is there to call her out on it. Yeah. Like, it's just like the truth. But like, okay. Yeah.
And I absolutely love Jennifer. Like, I'm obsessed with Jennifer. So
me too. I think she's great.
Yeah. She's so funny.
She's been definitely growing on me.
Yeah. And I
Like,
feel like this season she's like not as annoying. I liked her when she was annoying, but this season she's kind of like calmed down and she's oddly somewhat of a voice of reason in a
yeah,
way right now. So
Which
yeah.
really shows that things are getting scary.
yeah. Right?
And I just wanted to say, like, Jackie throwing Evan a second birthday party because Teresa ruined the first one was a bit much.
Yeah, no, that's like what I mean with the birthday parties. It's
Yeah.
like Dallas, it's like 55 different birthday parties for one birthday. It's like, okay, let's get into the Jackie and Teresa stuff.
Yeah.
Who is on everyone's side on?
Well, I
I
don't like Jackie very much, but I also find Teresa really annoying at times. So in this argument, I'm going to say that I'm Team Jackie.
okay.
I like Teresa a lot more. I think Teresa's obviously sort of wrong and kind of hypocritical. I think if Jackie didn't throw out the whole Gia thing, I'd probably team Jackie, but I just oddly just love Teresa, so I'm still sticking with Teresa on this.
Okay, same. Jackie is just like the way that Jennifer read her last season's premiere when she was like, "You're giving me that condescending smirk."
Yeah.
That feature about someone bothers me. So I probably wouldn't like Jackie at all, anyways. So
Mhm.
she just kind of floats through with this condescending, like, "I'm better than you. I'm a lawyer. I'm that." And I can only imagine how that affects Teresa because Teresa
Mhm.
just hates her. And Jackie has also taken 3 swings at Teresa. I mean, 2 swings at Teresa with the if you could control your husband thing, and then the if it walks like a duck and quacks like a
Yeah.
duck whole thing. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, now what did you expect with Teresa to do? She doesn't like you. She
Yeah.
remembered all this to pull it out at you. The way that Teresa didn't stick the landing was she could have done like what Bethany did with Tom. She could have had pictures of some kind to bring it up. Like if she really wanted to like do this right, she should have came with like legit receipts.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
like- definitely a little bit more on Teresa's side.
Oh, I had seen some tea that that production had offered whoever had this rumor about Evan to come on for like a couple episodes, but she declined. I also saw some tea that like someone from production said that working with Jackie, like she's very condescending like that too.
Saw
Like
that too.
she talks kind of down to
I don't like that.
Saw that a few times. I also heard that this cheating rumor was something that happened a long time ago, and Teresa heard about it, and apparently, like Jackie and her husband had worked through it, and like this happened like a long time ago, and then now like they brought it up. So I'm sure there's like some like
triggering her.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then
And
I saw that like Teresa working with Teresa, she's just kind of like wants to get it over with and be done with it. Like, and I heard Marge is the most like accommodating, which makes sense, obviously.
I mean, Marge is so kind to her employees. Like they all work from her house. I just really, really like that about Marge.
I love her.
And obviously you did the interview with her, but I just know that she's like genuinely like an amazing person.
She's so nice, by the way. I was a nervous wreck. I was like, oh my God. And like she was like so nice and normal. And she was like, do you want to keep going? Like she was like, we can talk some more. And I was like, not speaking English. I was like, like
the same.
No, I was a nervous wreck. But like I asked her all the questions I wanted to, and she answered all of them.
That's awesome.
I asked her about Michelle, and she was like, "I liked Michelle." I was like, "What the hell happened with this girl?" And everyone, by the way, follows her on Instagram. Of course, like when there's someone new, I'm like, "Who's following who?" Like,
oh yeah, I do that too.
I look, everyone follows her. Okay, I'm definitely a little bit team Teresa on this whole thing. I think that the way that Jackie did her analogy was so terrible because, and I heard it the way Teresa probably heard it. The way she said it was she should have made it way more clear that she was making an analogy. She should have said, that's like me saying Gia does this. She went out and just said it, and I was like, that's not.
Yeah, I really did believe it for a second, and then I realized it. But I mean, Teresa, she's not all there.
No,
well, she's just highly unintelligent. I mean, she didn't know who Charles Manson was. She didn't know what a moat was when someone talked to her about a moat. I
She
was
didn't
just
say any
like,
word right. She like her own dictionary. I want to like a literal like compilation video of like everything
Oh,
that's said wrong over the past.
and she said, I'm gonna blow a casket and,
what about ingredients?
dances, come
When
in.
she was like when she was like talking to Joe like before he went to jail, and she was like, they have the Ramadan Don.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just
So
watched that episode like last week.
it was
Yeah.
so sad. That season was good, and people don't give that season enough credit. That was like so crazy. Like Teresa came home from prison. This woman went to prison. Do people not remember that? Like she literally went to
Really, yeah. That's
She was there for almost a year. Oh my God.
and also Teresa and actually said she went to jail. That's like a big step for her. She usually called it summer camp.
yeah.
This is the episode, like this past week, she was like, when I went to jail or something.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to Matthew Boyd for joining us on this episode of The Word on the Street Is. We loved having you, hearing all of your Real Housewives opinions and everything. This was so great.
Well, thank you for having me. My Instagram is at It's Matthew Boyd, and my TikTok is Bravo Boyd.
We absolutely love Matthew's TikToks. That's how we connected with him, is through TikTok, and he just speaks our language when it comes to the Bravoverse.
We'll definitely have you back on.
Yes, thank you guys so much. This was so fun. Like
Yeah, this
actually getting to
was.
talk about this stuff because we are always like commenting on everything.
I know. It's great to actually get to connect.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week for another episode of The Word on the Street Is.